Welcome everyone to the talk, How to Make Exercise Fun. And I have here a very sparky spark, Debra Forth. And Debra is an exercise instructor. She's a fitness instructor and has been a Sen fitness instructor, a wellbeing practitioner, director of Live Well Northeast, fitness instructor with Go Forth Fitness, and also a Relax Kids coach. Debra was a what was it? An L5
HL,
primary.
yeah.
Oh, HL.
Yeah.
HL primary PE specialist, and also a teaching assistant. And then you left that to continue your fitness and your Relax Kids business, which is amazing. So you have such a passion for supporting children and young people with their physical fitness and also their mental fitness, because a lot of our coaches do focus on more mental, but of course we have movement and games for fitness, but you've really taken the whole fitness aspect. So tell us, why is exercise so important for children and teens and parents?
Yeah, it is. It's important for absolutely everybody. It's kind of a little way to look at it is we look after our cars. We always look after the inside of our cars, and we should always look after ourselves as well. Exercise, it just makes you feel good. I think that is the biggest part of it. It makes you feel amazing. It can help with everything. It can help your mental well-being massively. It's a huge impact on your mental well-being for children, for young people, for all ages. It is the difference that it makes to your body inside and outside. And it's not the physical, the way you look or anything at all. It is just about that feel-good factor, and that's always been what we are very passionate about.
You have a very interesting story around this, haven't you? Because you had, was it you had sciatica and you couldn't even move?
I did, yes. It was probably about 6 years ago now. I had quite major spinal surgery. Prior to that, I'd never exercised. I never really found anything I enjoyed. Tried things and failed at things. And then after I had the spinal surgery, I decided that I wanted to exercise and look after my body to impact it to keep lasting longer. When your back goes, it is the scariest thing you can ever think about. Not being able to walk a few steps without severe pain gave me the fuel to think I'm going to exercise, and I'm not going to exercise for image. I'm going to exercise to make sure my back is as brilliant as it can be for the rest of my life, and I've done that ever since, and it's just been absolutely fantastic.
That is amazing. I absolutely need to do that because I have had sciatic pain for 8 years now.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's like it's such a catch-22 because there is so much pain. Just walking is so painful, and it puts you off doing the exercise. But I do swimming, so
it really does. That's brilliant.
yeah. But how can we make exercise fun?
I think the most important thing is fun, without a shadow of a doubt. And when we say exercise, it's remembering that it's not necessarily we're going to take our children, we're going to go and go for a run, and we're going to go and play football, we're going to do this. It is everything and anything. You could, from being small, little things like do the lamppost game. If you're walking along the street, tell your children, "Whoa, can you run to the next lamppost? I'll meet you there." Little things like that. Walking is absolutely amazing. I think walking's quite underestimated. You can walk all the time. You could go for a short walk, a long walk. Something that we do frequently is a mindfulness walk as well. And it's going for that walk, taking notice of everything around you. You could print out a sheet of paper, have something fun on that sheet of paper that says, can you spot 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can see, 5 things you can taste, 4 things you can taste. Go through your senses, and you can make walking fun. But yeah, basically find loads of different things. It doesn't have to be anything huge.
I remember when I was a child, we used to walk from, there were 2 buses we'd have to catch on the way home, sort of like we were teenagers, and No, sort of early teens, like 12, and we would try and save our money, and so we do
Right.
the walk. And we created like a little, my sister and I, a little walking routine where you start with your left, start with your right leg.
Yeah.
I left, I took a good job on my left. I left because I thought it was right. I left. And we would just keep repeating this and get faster and faster and faster.
Brilliant.
So we would almost be running. So something like that makes
That's it. Yeah.
exercise fun.
Yeah. Absolutely everything. And I think as well, so that is showing a huge range of different exercise. There's so many things that quite often we don't experience a huge amount of sports or games. They're always, it might be football, it might be netball, it might be tennis. We're actually exposing children and young people to a huge range of different things. You could go surfing, something you've never thought about, could actually be your passion for your child's passion. But yeah, it never has to be complicated. It is just having fun with it, and very short bursts are great.
I saw some teenagers sort of socially distancing and playing with a ball just the other day, and it was so great to see them out. And I think, I don't know what they were doing. They were knocking a ball against a wall.
Right.
And that's something. So what would you suggest for getting a ball, whether it's a tennis ball or a big ball? They have different. What sort of games would you suggest for children, young people?
With a ball, you can do absolutely everything with a ball. You could bring it in and have some actual positivity with it as well. You could throw the ball in a circle when you catch the ball, say a positive affirmation. You could say children really love saying good things about friends. So if you've got a group of children, they could be throwing the ball to each other, and when they catch the ball, they can say, "Thank you, Sam, you're fantastic," and then pass it on to somebody else. "Thank you, you're amazing."
What about with just families though? So you've got like parents and their children. What sort of things could you do as a small family knit with a ball?
There's
or with
so many
a
things
rope?
you could you could do with balls. We could go into the whole sports side of things, of playing football, simple throw and catch games. You could start where you're standing close to one of my favorites, what I've done with my son before, is where you stand close together, throw the ball, then you take a step back, throw it further, take another step back, throw it, and the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you have to see how far your circle can get throwing the ball. And that's a really good one, because of course it's encouraging catching the ball from a small distance, but it's encouraging the hand-eye coordination when you step back and go a bit further. And you can aim, right, this Sunday we've done it, let's see if we can get the circle bigger next Sunday, and set challenges. Lots of little challenges would be really good.
Another thing I did as a child in the garden with my sister, we'd create obstacle races.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Brilliant. Obstacle. You can use anything for an obstacle course as well. High and low variations on the height. Use your whole garden, anything. And if you haven't got access to a garden, you can go out for a walk and use the outdoor space. There's loads of big outdoor spaces around.
And what about with a skipping rope? Have you got any tips for a skipping rope? Or an
rope? Yes. Again, beat how many skips you can do. That's always a good one. Children love to challenge the parents, and parents often love to challenge the children as well. So you could go for little games such as, I'm going to do 10 skips in a row, and then let's see if mum can do 15 skips in a row, and build it up with little things like that. But then you can go back to the good old traditional games of where maybe parents are holding the skipping ropes at each end, and you run in and jump in the middle. That's always a good one.
Lovely.
But you could think out the box. Use the skipping rope, lie on the floor, and it's a tightrope. You can use your balance and pretend you're walking along the tightrope with a skipping rope on the floor. Right. Yeah, just lay it down, and it's not in the air. We're not going to tightrope in the air, but yeah, just have the skipping rope, lie it flat on the floor, and just balance using your tiptoes, walking along it. Create some roots with the skipping rope. It doesn't actually have to be skipping as well. Follow the leader, holding on to the rope.
Yeah. You could also, like now it's summer, we can play things in the park and the garden if we have
Definitely.
one. So sort of like, could you do anything with, I just seem to remember we had things with, I remember at parties, I love dancing. So
Yes.
dancing with like the newspaper game is brilliant. Do you know the newspaper game?
I don't know if I do.
Oh, it's so good. So you dance, everybody, you get in a partner, and two people will dance on a piece of newspaper. And then when the music stops, you fold the newspaper, and you still have to stay dancing on that. Then you fold the newspaper again, and you keep going. And then when one person comes off, then you have to that group, that partner, they go. And so it means that one may have to hold the other up as they continue to dance.
That does sound good.
Really good one. You could use that one. I'll give you that one for free, Deborah.
I think I might test that one out. Yeah, but that's it. And for young or old as well, for all ages, you can get outside. And it does often get a bit harder to engage older children and like younger teens into getting more active and joining in the family games. But it is doable. You can do it, and you can introduce different sports for older children as well, and different activities.
I mean, there are some great games on YouTube, like the drop potato one.
Yes,
Do you want to explain that one? That's quite fun.
I think is that I'm not sure I know what the drop potato one is.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. It's where it's like a team game where you have a bucket on one side, and you have to hold the potato between your legs and walk to the bucket and plop it in the bucket.
Right. That is definitely a good game.
And it engages your. It will engage your
all of your core.
Core, but also what's the inner thigh? What muscle is that, Deborah?
Top of my head, I will know this, but it's been a while since I've used the technical terms. Yes, your thighs.
Don't worry, I'm really sorry to put you. Yeah,
it's fine.
Abductors, I think. Brilliant. Abductors or adductors, something like that. That engages those. Amazing. Yeah. So, and how does it help the mental health as well?
Without a doubt, yes. I think number one, being out in the fresh air is always going to help your mental health. Actually getting some great oxygen into your lungs really helps. It improves your whole neurological system when you do an exercise. It makes positive changes all the way through. You release your endorphins when you're doing any kind of exercise, whether that is just having a simple walk or whether it's throwing a ball against the wall in the garden. And it's also good to just take you out of your mind a little bit as well. And it's really lovely to just stop and you're focusing on something different, focusing on an activity, and then you're having loads of fun as well. So it does. It's the endorphins that are just filtering through your body from exercise that makes you feel good.
And what is, like, how do you know when you've reached a good exercise level? When is it not so, what I'm trying to say is how do you know that your heart is really going for it and you're not doing too much and you're not doing too little? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I think everybody has that inbuilt where they know, okay, I'm getting a bit tired now, I need to have a rest. You judge by your body. You always judge by your body. Children, as I'm sure you're all aware, will exercise and play for as long as they possibly can. And your body's really good at telling you when actually, right, it's time to slow down for a bit now. It's absolutely fine. You can have your Fitbit, you can have any type of device to measure your fitness, but actually when your heart rate's going, you can feel, you could get actually children, it's really good, do some activity, get them to put the hand on the chest and feel the heart beating, and it's kind of having a little mindful moment in that spot as well. Feel your heart beating a little bit, and can you feel it? It's moving a bit faster. That's because you've been exercising. But everybody will be so different. I think some people, they will be able to last longer. Some people really just want a short burst of exercise, and that's fine. But 15 minutes a day is really, aim to do 15 minutes a day where you slightly get out of breath, and that will have a big impact on you. Just start small.
Yeah, but even if you're not out of breath, even if you're just moving the body, just something,
Exactly.
just
Yes,
dancing in
without
the
a doubt.
kitchen, putting on,
Put some
you know,
music
having a
on.
very
Yeah, let loose.
absolutely, yeah.
Definitely.
So that's
It never has to be
absolutely amazing.
complicated.
Yeah, brilliant. And then, so we're getting the body moving,
Yep.
and then it's so important to get the body to rest.
Yes.
So
Cool
what
down.
would you? Yeah, cooling down and
Cool down.
relaxation.
Yeah,
because that's the end of our Relax Kids classes. Can you talk a little bit about relaxation, the benefit of all that?
I think it's an ideal opportunity because your body naturally, once you've done some exercise, whether it be 10, 15, 20, half an hour, your body's really up a height and you need to bring it down and calm down, and your body naturally wants to do that. So actually go with it a little bit further. It's a great time to then say, right, actually take notice of your breathing. That's always the first thing that I do with every single fitness class that I deliver, whether it's in school, whether it's in the community, with any age people, is right, stop. We've finished our exercise now. We're going to take our deep breaths, and we'll always control our breathing in our exercise classes right from the second. And actually, using your breathing, it helps your body relax so much quicker. If you're standing and if you've just been running and you're going and you're really out of breath, by continuing that out of breath, it lasts longer. Whereas if you very quickly say, right, I need to breathe in through my nose, breathe out nice and slow, your body cools down a lot faster. So for families, I think what you could do as well is bring in that we're going to have a cool down. We're just going to relax a little bit. And that's an ideal opportunity to say, oh, actually, we'll listen to a relaxation. We'll have some mindfulness. We'll just have a moment. And it doesn't have to be a relaxation. It could be simple. Let's just sit on the grass, have a look at the sky, and just for a moment look at the clouds. Just look at the clouds and see what shapes you can make, and just take in that moment.
Absolutely. Or just feel the grass under your feet. Grounding
Definitely
is really good. Taking your shoes off in nature, so good for children to feel the grass, the earth under their feet. It feels really, really good for the body. And and just finally, Deborah, what relaxation CD, Relax Kids CD do you recommend? Do you often do in your classes?
It's always the hardest one to put across. There's so many brilliant CDs from Relax Kids. My personal favourite that I feel is suitable for all ages is Quiet Spaces. It has to be the one. It's got so many different tracks that suits everybody, and no matter where I go, that one will always be used all the time. But there is such a huge choice, and they are all absolutely brilliant. But Quiet Spaces is actually, it's brilliant for the young children. It's also good for teenagers as well. It's good for adults. I've often listened to it by myself.
Short. Yeah, and also they're deep body relaxation. So rather than the more creative, imaginative, fairy tale type ones, they're really like sitting in a warm bath, or imagine you're outside, feel the grass, and it really they're very grounding, aren't they? So I can see why you like that.
Yeah. I think my favourite one on that track is Robot. It's really, really good for children to actually identify their bodies as well. So we're switching off this, we're switching off that part. And sometimes you physically switch off as you're going down, and it is lovely.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, Deborah, thank you. We've got so many
problem at all.
ideas.
It's been
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.